So, we have just enjoyed a nice comedy session of films, and we have some of the creators behind some of the films. So, if you'd like to go down the line and tell us who you are and what you worked on in which film.
Hi, I'm Tom Ward-Thomas, and I wrote and acted in Mafia.
I'm Kayleigh, and I was the lead in Viva La Vulva.
I'm Kayleigh. I'm writer and director of Viva La Vulva.
So much enthusiasm. I think it's because it was quite a nice, light block of films.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, it's been like up and down. This is like all fun stuff. So let's begin with Mafia. So tell us how it came about. Like you wake up one day going, guess what I'm going to do tomorrow?
Well, I wanted to sort of write a short comedy, and I've written a feature film that's been shelved, where the characters play a game of Mafia, and in the course of the film, and it just kind of worked quite well. So I decided to kind of create something new and created it as a family dynamic, and it's just a game, and see where it went. And then I discovered these characters who were largely despicable. Not too bad in this version. I'm writing another version, a longer version, where they are pretty awful. So.
And how about with Viva La Vulva? How'd that come about?
You mean like what is it? Why did it come up with
Yeah.
the idea? It's just like I don't know. Like it's one day because it just felt the story was about like having some like yeast infection problems, but then one day I just like, why not that vulva talks at this yeast infection can be like some it's just a voice, so like it kind of just came out. Like, sorry, it's a weird question.
It's a weird one to explain.
It's important to listen to your body. I feel like that's like a nice message. Was it a student piece?
Yeah.
How was it received at your establishment? Was it university? How was it received at university?
You mean like is like people likes it or?
Yeah.
We got a lot of laughs, like more than I thought. So I'm like, I think it's good.
I mean, I feel like students have the freedom to go like full on out there, and that is exactly what you did.
They didn't stop me doing that, so I'm happy.
They had all the chances to stop you from.
Yeah.
And with Mafia, how's the reactions from the audience been that you've seen so far?
Yeah, it's been good. We started in November, the festivals really, and we've won 2 Audience Choice Awards.
Oh, lovely.
So some audiences are liking it, which is good. It's been going quite well. Yeah.
Did you have any inspirations, I guess, thematically or aesthetically when creating the film? Because it's quite the ensemble cast, isn't it? Inspirations inspired by our own personal experiences and kind of people I know and family dynamics that are familiar with me and other people as well, just kind of a combination. And the bisexual element is something it's me. And I think it's me. I am. Bisexual is me. Also,
Sorry, Tom.
that's my favourite thoughts now. And just again, a general sense of sort of lack of tolerance and like trying to be open-minded, but actually being quite closed-minded and seeing like the different dynamics with age and generations and tolerating each other and actually and some people kind of not. I'm trying to say. Saying chill out a little bit, basically. Yeah. It was something that I was sort of wanting to go for as well. Everyone gets very outraged on certain things, and that was something I kind of thought I'd touch on. But it didn't really. It dawned on me at the time when each character kind of had their voice. It wasn't necessarily me going, I want to say this thing. It's just like a character suddenly had a point. It was like, oh, let's explore that avenue and explore this person's avenue. Yeah.
So, do you have a history of creating queer film, or is it something that you actively try to do?
No, I don't have a history of doing that. I've made 2 short films before, and they weren't in any way queer. But we're trying to write for TV at the moment, and I've got
most of my TV programs that are developed that I'm trying to get off the ground are queer. Yeah, they have a strong queer element to them.
And with Mafia, did you have a strong queer cast at all, or was it?
Yes, sort of. Myself and one of the other cast members who plays my sister, Lottie, is bisexual. Fabrizio, who's actually, I don't know why you're not here. Fabrizio is gay and some of the crew as well. But not everyone, no. Yeah.
And did you try to do the same with Viva La Vulva? Did you try to actively have a queer crew, or it being a student piece, did you kind of get limited to who you had available?
Yeah. You mean like if I try to get like a queer crew? Like,
yeah, was the people who created the whole film, were they all queer?
honestly, yeah.
But accidentally,
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Because I just work better with queer people, and I kind of just gathered them together. But I did just accidentally. Actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that I guess you'd feel more comfortable working around queer people. Is that something that you then want to do more in future?
Yeah, definitely.
Your drag king film as well.
Yeah, like my another short film is also like about queer and the drag king. Yeah, and all the HOD are queer. Oh, that is my producer there. So do you want to come up here?
Swap with me. I have nothing to say.
So I'm going to find something for you to say.
Go for it.
Was this the first piece that you performed in, or have you worked?
No, I've been on film and stage since I was like 11. But like as I've gotten older, I've more been wanting to like focus on more queer roles and things. And again, this was an accidental, like I'd worked on a film that I had also worked on previously, and then I auditioned and we got it, and it wasn't like, the storyline isn't particularly queer, but because it was all done by queer like crew and cast, it just felt very like, it was a nice, especially because of the sort of storyline as well. There's a lot of just a camera right up to my crotch. So it was nice to have like such a, like, feel like such a safe like production to be on for that sort of,
And with the theme of being kind of listening to your body, especially where I guess a lot of people won't really get taught anatomy, essentially female anatomy doesn't get taught as well as it probably should. Do you feel like going in you already felt comfortable with that, or did you learn stuff on set?
I feel like I already kind of like, I know myself, and I remember we were talking about whether Erica, like what was Erica's sexuality and stuff, and we settled on like she was queer, she was gay, but at the same time I was like, so how does she know nothing about the vulva? That was an interesting thing to sort of work out, of why someone who is like queer knows nothing.
That could be quite a big plot hole. If
Yeah.
not thought out, okay. Did you have a big crew on set, or was it quite intimate?
There was like closed set days because of like some of the shots and stuff. But no, I don't think. I mean, again, being a student film, it was like a smallish crew. Yeah. But like, it felt like a good size, I'd say.
And how about with Mafia? Because you've got a whole table full of people, so that's like a lot to begin with.
There were 21 people there in total.
Oh, wow.
And it's quite weird when you watch it back actually, because we did it in 2 days, and on day one, everyone, the camera was pointing towards the kitchen, and the hallway outside was just full of people. And then on day two, all the crew were in the kitchen because the cameras were on the windows. And it is weird to think that there were 12 more people in the room with us, and you kind of forget that when you watch the film. But there were quite a lot of us actually.
that was set in like the location was like an actual kitchen.
Yes. Yeah. It was kitchen, living room usually, but the sofas and stuff left. It was quite a large group. So James Cleave, who's the director, who couldn't be here today, he got together quite a good lot of crew. It wasn't small.
And at what stage were you? I guess you were there as writer, right?
Yeah, and actor. Yeah.
Were you always intended to be the actor, or did that kind of happen?
I wanted to be in it. It's one of those things. It's like, I can be. But I think if I'd chosen to direct it, I wouldn't have done. But I think as long as I was sort of able to take the writing side, park the writing side. Sorry, once I've written it, it's done, and kind of over to the director, and then work with the other actors as an actor. So yeah, I wanted to be in it, and I kind of wanted to play that role specifically because it was kind of largely similar to my story. Not what happens in it, but the bisexual element. So yeah, I wanted to be in it, and James was happy for me to be in it, so that was okay.
So for both productions, was there anything that you learned on set that you would love to either tell your past self going in? So you've got first, like, early on filmmakers, more established. What piece of advice would you turn around and go, before you start, actually, let's...
I mean, I know James was very organised on his shots. So, I mean, this isn't something I learned. I learned from him. If I was to ever direct something, like the level of detail and planning that he put into the shots, and he had kind of all these diagrams and camera, and he did it, and he was very organised with it. So I'd say it was such a kind of so many setups to do, and he was just so on it and organised. So if I was to sort of do my own thing, just that level of planning, there's not too much level of planning, because actually it was quite a smooth shoot, and we weren't shooting until 10 o'clock at night. I mean, we finished on time, and mostly. So a level of organisation from a director's point of view, from learning from him, I would say.
Yourselves?
Do you want to say yours?
Do you want to say yours first?
Yeah, I think it's just like just trusting yourself and the people around you, because we all know how to do our job, and like if we trust in each other and trust ourselves, then we'll get it done. Pretty much. Because I think there was one section, and we'd been filming it, and really wasn't that, like, you kept being like, it's not how I imagined it, and I was like, okay, let's, like, and so we like kept trying, and then I think we had to move on because of, like, we had like people being like, come on, like, have to move on, like, time. And I was like, well, if you have a look at it later and, like, you're still not happy, we'll find time tomorrow. And then I think you came back and you were like, yeah, it's not what I imagined, but it works. So it's like, it's just trusting each other and, yeah, trusting in the creative process.
Actually, adding to that, like, from that, like, actually, on this project, I've done a few things where I've written and acted in them, but this was actually the one where I found it harder to distance myself from the writing element, and actually everyone brought things to the roles, all the cast brought things to the roles, and in many ways they weren't how I had imagined it, but they were better, and they were kind of, the characters were kind of much different, and we had, and I sometimes was like, oh, it needs to be faster, it needs to be this, but actually to be like, no, James the director, and to actually relax, and the same kind of thing, to just trust everyone's here for a reason, and you've got things for a reason. You've got everyone here for a reason, and they've got the job for a reason, so you can just chill out and let them do their job. It's the same thing, yeah. And try and relax.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot. It's like, just like sometimes you just have to let it go, especially like when you see and scream and it doesn't look like what you imagine. But this is what we have right now, and then we are creating something not exactly like a plan, but it's something else. and it's kind of combined with a lot of people's brain together and efforts. And like today, I see Vulva on the screen. I also be, this is not what I imagined. Like the half year before, like I watch it, and this time I watch it again. Like, wow, okay, it's a bit different. But yeah, I still like it. Yeah, I just like have to let it go, like how I have in mind before, but now it is kind of like learning how to interact with, like, or accept what you have right now. Yeah, I think that's what I feel.
Prior to this, had you seen it on the big screen before?
Yeah, I do. But just every time you sing it differently. Yeah.
How about with Mafia? Do you feel like it's different when you watch it?
As in different each time, or
Yeah.
different? Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I've seen it quite a few times now. I'm always just intrigued to how everyone responds to it,
Yeah.
and how people laugh at different things, and something. There were some jokes in it that I thought, and so did James, thought were hilarious, and people don't often laugh at those jokes. And then people laugh at completely new things that you didn't expect them to laugh at, and you're like, oh, people are getting that. So it's funny to see how different audiences respond to different things, because it's kind of, it's also funny. I've noticed this is the second queer film festival that we've had it in, and it's just funny how kind of I like, oh good, people are laughing at that one this time round, which they don't often in the other ones. It's like obviously like slightly in joke.
Yeah, that's quite interesting to be able to see the pattern.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've shown it elsewhere outside of queer film festivals.
Yeah,
Have you been trying to show Viva La Vulva to queer film festivals, or have you been showing them to regular festivals as well?
Mostly queer festivals, actually. Yeah. That's what I've been doing.
And do you feel like you'd want to show it in more
Yeah,
wider audience?
definitely. Because I feel like it's not just queer story, actually. And it's about more about like women, and then like about body, knowing your body. So I feel like it actually can go to a lot of places. Yeah.
And for each of you, did you have any really fun moments on set for both films?
We have
days?
such a fun shoot. It's such a fun shoot, yes.
But it was also almost 2 years ago now, so yeah, it like sometimes it's like, okay, trying to remember.
Oh
back.
yeah, there's one time like we're trying to find where's Sean, because we are setting out lighting, and then where's Sean? Where's she? And then it turns out like she's like sleeping under the table, in the middle, like in the corner of the studio. I'm like, okay, here's Sean.
There's many photos of that as well. There's just me sleeping in different positions on set.
Yeah.
But I think that's every film, to be fair. Find my spaces to sleep.
Did you get any serial nappers in Mafia?
No, we were around. Everyone was around that table the whole time. So, well, apart from the beginning and the end and at lunchtime. So no. Again, it was December, not this last December, but December 2023. It was quite a sort of a long time ago, but I suppose sort of all the usual. Everyone having random conversations and kind of improvising as well. When the camera crew, I mean, when Sam, who played Patch, he had a different way of saying vagina every time he had that line, and that was hard to keep a straight face. Okay, that's a long time ago.
So, I think my final question will be on the fun side of things. Let's say you're stranding on a desert island and you have all the technology to watch a film, and you can only watch one film. So it's great technology, but it'll only work for one DVD or Blu-ray, whichever you prefer. Which, I guess, preferably queer film. Which is going to be your lifelong? I want to watch this film on repeat.
Oh God.
It's the worst question. What's your favourite film? But
I mean, I don't think you can get it on DVD because it's on Netflix. But I would probably say Tick, Tick, Boom.
that's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
It's really good. The amount of times I've seen it. And, like, it's funny and you can cry. Like, it's a nice sort of balance of, yeah.
And to add on to, I guess, with Tick, Tick, Boom, do you have a favourite queer anthem?
I mean, I've been playing The Giver on repeat ever since it came out on Thursday, so I'm going to say that.
If you linger at the bar long enough, that will come onto the playlist and you can hear it.
Perfect. We're there.
How about you two? Do you have a favourite film and queer anthem?
Film, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, a film that I really love and I want to see again, and it's not a queer film, but it's Forrest Gump.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's a classic.
Yeah.
It's, I can't really think of any. I mean, there are so many good ones out there that I just think, oh, that's brilliant, that's brilliant, that's brilliant. So that's the first one that comes to mind, and it's in my top 5, I suppose. A queer anthem. I don't know. I mean, I was introduced, and I'm embarrassed to say only recently, but Pink Pony Club's a great one.
Hey, two for Chapel
So
Road.
I love Chapel.
Only a few days ago did I discover it, but
Gotta love Chapel.
And how about yourself? Do you have a favourite film and, I guess, favourite Chapel song?
I would say I do have a DVD of Carol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
books in Chinese and English, so I would say Carol. Yeah, because it's just always like just nice to watch that film. Yeah, I love it. And I have to say Giver. The Giver too. You gotta get a job done.
Yeah, you've got to get the job done.
I have a queer film. It's got to be a queer film I'm thinking of.
It will come to you later
It'll
on.
come to
And
me.
you can come to me and tell me. So thank you very much for coming, supporting your films, for submitting. Can I get a round of applause, please?